Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to focus, it's time to pay attention. Bitcoin is coming up for a third retest of its 38.5k high, and if we shatter that resistance within the next 24 to 48 hours, we could actually very well be skyrocketing towards something like 48k, and we could absolutely shatter the remaining bearish arguments. This is big things to pay attention to right now because this is happening right now, so we have to pay attention. Let me show you exactly what we're looking at today and exactly what I think will happen. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into it. We did a poll on Wolf's Crypto YouTube channel community homepage with 1,600 votes just 7 days ago, and 57% of you said we'll be breaking 40k before the end of 2023. Now, before you say, oh, that could just be a bias of my audience, I don't think it is, because I haven't taken a particularly strong bullish bias over the last few weeks. What I will say is this, and this is what we're going to be basing the video around. I think there is a specific line on the 4-hourly chart RSI that we need to be looking at in order to confirm a break to the upside, because Bitcoin is bumping its head against resistance. As we said in the poll, will we get above 48? Will we get above 40k? Well, in order to get above 40k, we need to get above 38.5, and that's what we've been rejecting from multiple occasions. We bumped our head on 38.5 just a few days ago here in 24th of November, again on the 29th. Right now, we're coming up for a retest of it again. You know, the question remains, will we see a triple top here? Will we see 3 consistent rejections from 38.5k, which will inevitably lead to a downside move, or will we see a breakout? And this is where I get into my short-term analysis for Bitcoin. I believe that Bitcoin will be seeing a directional decision, whether it be a break above 38.5k, which would lead, in my opinion, to a break of this major resistance zone at 40k, or a break down below this yellow line, which would lead to a break of this upwards trend, which has sustained itself since back here on September 11th. And I'm being serious when I say that. We have been in an upwards trend on Bitcoin with higher lows and higher highs consistently since September 11th. We have not broken that upwards trend once. And this is why it's been very difficult for me to sit here and say that I'm bearish on Bitcoin. Even though I understand the charts, and the indicators, volume descending, for example, RSI rejections, for example, exhaustive patterns like the one we're seeing right here, I understand that all of the TAs is leaning bearish, but for me to sit here and say that the charts are actually bearish would be asinine. It wouldn't be intellectually honest, because we haven't seen an actual downwards trend yet. So I'm not bearish on Bitcoin. I'm also wouldn't really consider myself bullish either. Kind of on the fence in this price region. Again, on the fence in understanding that the TA is more bearish than bullish. But what I will say is this. I believe Bitcoin has a real chance here, and potentially even a final chance, right? The final chance, as I mentioned in the introduction, to break above this 38.5k level. And that final chance, in my opinion, is not stemming from daily chart analysis. It's not stemming from weekly chart analysis. It's stemming from the 4-hourly chart. Because when I look at the 4-hourly chart, what do I see? Well, I look at the RSI, and I understand, well, we're at this flat level of resistance around 38.5k. We need to break above that to move upwards towards 40k, and then break above that, we go straight to 48. We've looked at that in the past. We'll look at that again in a second. But the level we actually need to really focus on is the immediate high. The immediate rejection at 38.5 we've seen on the 24th of November and the 29th of November. We need to break that, right? We need to consistently put in higher highs, because in order for an upwards trend to remain, which is what we're in, we need to be seeing higher highs. Now, we haven't seen a high on Bitcoin. We haven't seen a higher high since the original retest of the original test of 38.5k here on the 25th of November. That's a while ago now. So we're weakening. We're getting very weak here. We need to see a higher high. In order to do that, we need to break 38.5k. Now, we can't really analyze that on a surface level. We need to look for other things to, draw conclusions from. One of the things I'm looking at is the 4-hourly chart RSI. We've got our first retest here in this descending yellow line in the 4-hourly chart RSI back here on the 24th of October, going through to the 10th of November, going through to the 24th, going through to the 29th, right? Both of these last 2 retests, okay, lining up with the retest in the price chart of 38.5k. This is a very valid line. 4 separate historical retests. We're coming up and we're retesting it again. This is why I'm saying right now is very important for Bitcoin. We are on the verge of a breakout right now. We're on the edge of a breakout right now. Can we actually succeed in that breakout? Well, we'll know within 24 hours. I'll say that. Now, if Bitcoin manages to break above this 4-hourly chart RSI line with a break above 38.5k in the price, I see no reason personally why this 40k resistance zone, this massive red box here, will hold for resistance. I think that would be a break to the upside. And if we're looking at the longer term perspective, this is actually a very major claim. It's actually a very major form of analysis we're taking here. Because where is Bitcoin on a long-term basis? Well, on a long-term basis, Bitcoin is in this ascending channel formation. And this ascending channel formation won't hold up. We'd break it to the upside, right? If that analysis is correct. If Bitcoin does see a breach of this 4-hourly chart RSI line and see a break of these highs making a higher high, we could very well be in a situation in which we're breaking above this ascending channel formation, which would break one of the major bear cases that Bitcoin has right now. And not only a break of the ascending channel, but it'd also be a break of the major resistance zone itself between 37.5k and 40k. And above that level, right, above 37.5 to 40k, we have no proper major resistance on Bitcoin, really, until 42k. But more specifically, on the volume profile, the next actual major one, right, I'm emphasizing the word major, is actually here at 47.5 to 48k. All right, let me reiterate that because I stuttered there. If we break this level, if we get this 4-hourly chart RSI break, which we're testing right now, okay? If we break 40k based on that, if we see a higher high, we not only could break the one bearish thing on the Bitcoin charts right now to the upside, right? We also could be seeing a move, or the start of the move, to something like 48k, which is a very significant move because that's another, 25% to the upside. Now, let me be very clear. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm not predicting this. I'm merely pointing out a scenario that I see as very valid from an objective perspective. As I said, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm bullish on Bitcoin right now. It's very difficult for me to do that with the TA we've got right now. It's also very difficult to say I'm bearish. What I will say is that if we do break this level, if we do get this 4-hourly chart RSI break, we do get a volume surge because of it, we do break a higher high, I will be bullish short term. And if we do, similarly, in the same breath, if we do break down from this yellow line, I will be bearish, right? I'm just listing the scenarios, and the reason why I'm listing it right now with such an emphasis and such an excitement in my voice is because we're testing it currently. Right now, we could know within 24 hours what's going to happen here. And this is really, really big stuff. You know, some of the bears are pointing to the fact that we've got this stochastic RSI on the weekly chart coming in for a bearish cross. They're saying, oh, that's bad. Bitcoin, there's no way Bitcoin can break upwards here. I would reject that notion because I think that if you understand how stochastic RSI works, you would also understand that stochastic RSI crosses are only valid once you actually see the red and blue line cross back below 80, which is the rectangular blue region here. Once we get the cross back below and back within the rectangular band, that's when it becomes valid, right? So this cross actually is pending right now. It's not valid by any means. And we've seen on Bitcoin over and over again, bearish crosses come in. For example, a bearish cross originally triggered here in November 2020, but we saw the price run up from 13k all the way to 65k before the cross even materialized, or more realistically up here to 41k before it materialized into a bearish cross. And even when we were seeing the bearish cross, the price continued to run up. So acting like the weekly chart stochastic RSI is like an oracle of Bitcoin price action is a ridiculous notion to begin with. In the same stroke, the weekly chart RSI, yes, it's reached overbought territory, that's for sure. But we've seen much more extensive price action in overbought territory than what we're seeing right now. We've only been in overbought territory for about a month. We saw in the same period of the market cycle in 2019, overbought territory for in excess of 3 months, right? And it was only really crushed by what was the beginning at that point of an economic crisis. So to act, well, not quite actually, I will take that back slightly, but the point is to act like these things like the stochastic RSI and the weekly chart RSI being in overbought territory are really just the oracles of truth of Bitcoin price action and where it needs to go is ridiculous. It's certainly not a good thing, and I've emphasized this over and over again, right? I still think the TA is leaning bearish. I'm not going to be stupid. I'm not going to ignore that. And I want to be very clear once more. I've already reiterated. I'll reiterate again. I'm not sitting here saying I'm bullish on Bitcoin short term because I'm not. I'm on the fence about Bitcoin short term. Very, very much. I don't think there's any logical reason to be off the fence. If I'm being quite honest, I'm saying that something very major is being tested right now, and if this breaks, this could change the entire cyclical structure, not cyclical, the entire long-term to medium-term structure of Bitcoin, in the sense that we have a long-term ascending channel stemming back here from August 2022, and if that breaks to the upside, there goes the bear case. And if that breaks to the upside, where are we going? We're going to 48, guys. This is a big deal. So one thing I want to discuss, because I think I've emphasized that quite a lot, and I'm trying to keep this video short intentionally. One more thing I will discuss is the macro scale monthly chart, because we've seen the monthly chart close. We've seen, it's December 1st now, so the November monthly candle was closed. The monthly candle looked good. It's a very strong monthly candle. It was a relatively strong, at least, solid green monthly candle. Not much to say about it in a technical term, in terms of their candlestick formation, but In terms of, the monthly RSI, the monthly stochastic RSI, and again, I'm not going to take these too seriously because they're not to be taken too seriously, but stochastic RSI, for example, did see a bullish monthly chart cross. That's good to see. We didn't confirm the bearish cross that we saw back here in July 2023 because we didn't cross back within this rectangular band that I spoke about in the weekly chart, so it's good to see that cross being validated. It's good to see a bullish cross come in. And we've seen as well, I've got these red and green rectangles you'll see on the screen right now. And basically they're triggered from when we see a bullish or bearish cross between the 14 moving average on the RSI and the RSI line itself. For example, a bearish cross right here, start of a red rectangle, that's a bearish cross on the monthly RSI between the 14 moving average and the RSI line itself. We saw a bullish cross back here in February 2023. We're still on an upwards trend due to that bullish cross. We're still very much within that bullish cross, and we've got leadway to move to the downside if we have to. And this plays into the narrative that I've been speaking about for a few weeks now. If Bitcoin does correct here, it's not the end of the world. The macro structure is still very much intact if we do see a correction, as long as it doesn't go too far down, as long as it doesn't go below, say, 28.5k, which is something we've repeated over and over again. We're not really in trouble, but overall, actually, the macro structure is in a very good position, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if we go down. In the same way, it wouldn't surprise me if we go upwards here, because we're in a period of time here in the market cycle where we've got room for error. And, we've got room for failure and we've got room for more progression to the upside. It's kind of, we're a bit free range right now, right? And I think that's what's led to some of the confusion we've seen over the past few months. That's what's led to, 9 months of consolidation sideways between March and October, because we're looking, the market truly desperately wants cyclical guidance, but we don't really have it for this time period of the market, because we've only really seen this time period in the market 2 times. We saw it in, I believe, 2015 and 2019. That's only twice. 2 times is not a trend. There's no trends that can be, articulated based on 2 data points. Or at least there's no valid trends based on 2 data points. You can certainly make observations. So we're kind of in no man's land. I will stand by that. I've been saying that the whole year from a cyclical level, but we do know that cyclical clarity is going to return once we see the halving. So until then, we're free ranging a little bit. We've got room for error. It's great to see the long term looks so good. The short term's in question, and we're testing it right now. This is a very big 24 to 48 hours in my opinion, so we'll see what happens. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to make money on altcoins with me on Telegram, I have a VIP group I run there. I post altcoin trading signals into the VIP group daily. You can find all the information in the description below, including a PDF with all of our trading results with an 80.5% win rate. Absolutely phenomenally profitable there, as well as a 14-day free trial information. Check it out. We've also got Bitget and Bingx exchange for those of you who are looking for a new exchange or looking to improve your exchange quality. Bingx is a global non-KYC exchange. You can sign up from anywhere in the world. Bitget is a global KYC exchange minus the USA, so sign up from anywhere in the world minus the USA. Both have extremely low trading fees, both have never been hacked before, both have extensive protection funds in case there is a hack. There's no reason not to sign up to these exchanges in my opinion. And there's certainly no reason not to use my referral link if you're going to do so, because with my referral link, you'll get an extra 15% trading fee discount on all trading fees for life on these exchanges, saving you literally thousands of dollars in the long run, depending on how much you trade. So go ahead and do that. The links are below. And then finally, the Crypto Academy courses. You'll see here, Become a Trader 10-unit course developed by myself and Megawell Crypto. We made a course last year teaching people how to trade, teaching people how to chart, analyze charts, indicators, market patterns, candlestick formations, market psychology, how to find trades, the whole 9 yards. It's all there. Check it out. The website is below. Guys, thanks for watching again. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you tomorrow.